You are knowing what you're wanting?
No.
One honest person in the room. Are you knowing the importance of knowing what you're wanting? And are you appreciating how your desire continues to expand?
Yeah.
And are you appreciating how, as your desire expands, that often you're not up to speed with it, not right away, but that is your work, to hatch a desire and then align with it. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Because life causes you to identify your preferences. And when you do, you emanate a vibrational predecessor to manifestation. We've been calling it a rocket of desire. Do you know that you are vibrational beings? Do you understand, or are you beginning to understand the power of your thought? Do you know that the thoughts that you think are carving out passageways? That you are literally making paths toward future manifestations? But the path that you are on right now, while you're feeling whatever emotion you're feeling while you're on this path, is letting you know what the manifestation is going to feel like when you reach it. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. Well, that really is what the creative process is, because as you stand in your now, whatever you are giving your attention to is causing you to offer a vibration. And while most humans do not understand the power of those vibrational offerings, we are wanting you to know that the vibrations that you are offering as a result of the thoughts that you are thinking right now, whether it's remembering something or focusing on something in your now or imagining it, the thought that you have generated with the power of your focus is causing a vibrational movement that is, we're not kidding you at all, carving out a path, a pathway. We call it the path of least resistance. You carve it out by your attention to it. So when you give your attention to something for as little as 17 seconds, there's not much momentum in that thought, not much carving out of that pathway. But once you cross the 17-second mark, now that thought is joined with other thoughts. You could say the momentum increases. And now the thought is more powerful, and the carving out the pathway is more powerful. Maintain that for another 17 seconds, and still more momentum and more powerful carving out of a pathway that is leading you to a potential manifestation. Cross the 68-second mark, which is just 4 times 17. What happens is there is now enough momentum going that you are pretty much committed for now to that train of thought. A belief is just a practiced thought. A belief is just a thought that you think often. So the beliefs that you hold have carved out pathways that make evidence of those beliefs come to you. Most humans say, oh, wait a minute, Abraham, you have it backwards, because I saw it and that's why I believed it. And we say, we know it seems like that because there are plenty of things for you to observe. And when you begin to catalog them and pigeonhole them, you come to believing in them. But you are the creator of these pathways. And these pathways are the pathways, that was very clever, to the future manifestations. We want you to realize that you have open pathways to things wanted and not wanted. And we would like to help you to gain creative control of your pathways. We would like you to become a deliberate thinker. But in order to do that, you have to understand how the process works. Over the years, we've offered a lot of different analogies to help you get your thoughts around this vibrational world, because you live in a very see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it world. And what you translate with your physical senses is so satisfying to you, you're really, at least in the beginning, not that excited to hear about the vibrational world that really is what is happening. So we explain to you that your emotions help you to know what your vibrational frequency is. But it's not just what your frequency is. It's not just what your vibrational offering and therefore rendezvousing with things like it is. It's your vibrational frequency in relationship with the frequency of your true heart, with the frequency of your true desire, with the frequency of your most expanded beingness, with the frequency of the source within you. So we want you to realize that because of the frequency, the vibrational attitude, you could say, or mood of the source within you. When you feel anger towards someone, you launch a rocket of more love, because every subject is really two subjects, wanted and lack of it. That's the way this entire universe is. Whenever you know what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want. And whenever you know what you do want, you know more clearly what you don't want. So what deliberate creation is identifying the difference between wanted and unwanted, and then focusing in the direction of wanted. That really is the simplest example of what deliberate creating is. When you are in a moment of feeling passion, you are so in sync with that part of you that there is no vibrational gap. You are tuned in, tapped in, turned on to that source energy. And the whole of you is focused in this moment, having this conversation, having this experience. When you feel the emptiness of an emotion like anger or fear or depression, when you feel discouragement or even a lighter negative emotion like overwhelmment, those emotions indicate that you're not in perfect sync with who you are. There's a vibrational variance that you are translating through your emotional center. That's how you can most know the existence of that larger part of you, and you're in this moment vibrational relationship with that larger part of you. So we want you to know that once you accept that that part of you exists, and once you begin to pay attention to the way you feel, now you have deliberate creative control of your own experience. Now you can, we're not kidding you at all, now you can have deliberate control of your own experience. Expansion is happening. Your own expansion is happening. Not for expansion of the universe are we delighted about your willingness to understand this, but for the deliberateness of capturing your own moment by moment joyous experience. It's supposed to feel good to you. You're supposed to vacillate between something that's really fun and something that's interesting, something that's fascinating, something that calls you. In other words, not one of you said, I'll go forth and I'll be the one who suffers. I'll go forth and I'll stir it up, and I will deliberately hold myself in vibrational resistance to my own expansion. And so I'll have a lot of struggle and a lot of pain and a lot of grief. And when others look at me, they'll feel better about their lives. None of you said that. What you said was, I'll go forth and I'll come to new awarenesses, and I'll feel the vibrational difference in the newness, but I'll find a way to focus until I make it my own vibration. And when I do, then manifestation will come as demonstration, as actualization, as manifestation of the thought that I've been holding. But it's not just the manifestations that are your indicator. It's not just those vivid demonstrations that we want you to focus on. It's the emotion in the moment, because the emotion in the moment is literally letting you know what pathway you're on, and the way you feel lets you know how you're going to feel when you get there. So do you get the idea of this vibrational reality? So as we've been telling you the story of the vibrational reality, we have been calling it the vortex, the vibrational reality, the vortex of creation. Wrote a whole book about it. And we wanted to get your attention that as you expand, that we stand in your vortex, maintaining the frequency of what you've been asking for. But today we want to remind you that every thought you think is causing a vibrational version to be created. In other words, you've got vibrational versions of wanted and unwanted. So let's say that you're disappointed in something. Doesn't matter how it came about. Maybe somebody told you something, maybe you observed something, but you're feeling disappointed about it. And as you begin to feel that disappointment, you've got 17 seconds to head it off. Esther said to a friend the other day, there's something I need to tell you, and I've only got 17 seconds to do it. So listen up. You've been saying to us for a while something that sounds a little bit like, Abraham, I've jumped out of an airplane. I have no parachute. What do you think I should do now? And we say, hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. Because there's a momentum that is underway, that there is not a likely action that you're going to find that's going to change the direction of your free fall. So a similar thing happens when you get this thought momentum going. So let's say that you have this thought, and with this thought comes this feeling, but you're not queued up, you're not determined yet, you're not really wanting yet to maintain control of your thought. And so you just let the thought unfold, and as it does, you add more to it. Law of attraction actually adds more to it. You begin to remember other things like it, and now you're off and running. And now you've crossed the 68-second point, and so it seems logical to you that you should call someone to discuss this with them. And you know exactly who to call, don't you? You know who to call. So you call that person who lets you vent, and who often has insightful, equal things to say in return. So now you've really got good momentum going on this unwanted thing. We just want to point out to you that that's what carving that pathway is. Been telling the story of some pipes in Texas that help a pond function. Some pipes draw water out into a filter, and then other pipes allow the water to go back in. It's the filtering process for this pond. The pond got all cloudy because some of the pipes were clogged. And we say they were clogged from neglect. So we want to say to you that you've got some clogged pipes about things that you want because you don't think about the things you want. And you've got some open pipes about things you don't want because you give it a lot of attention. So we're suggesting that you let the pipes that lead where you don't want to go just clog up from neglect, while you open the pipes to things you do want with your thought. Don't you like the picture of that? The other day, Esther was visiting with a friend, and they had such a synergy going, so much good momentum going. The words that they were saying, it felt so good. Energy was running all through Esther's body, and it occurred to her, this feeling of this energy running, by the time there's enough momentum going, it was way more than 68 seconds. It was a minute or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 15 or 20. It had been many minutes of staying in this high-flying, good feeling. And it occurred to Esther, can you imagine what we are doing with those pipes? If it feels like this in our body, where's this energy going? It's going outward into the universe. It's opening pathways. It's opening pathways between where I stand and where I want to be. Pathways that law of attraction will cause rendezvous all day, every day. So there is a momentum to your thought. A momentum to your thought that causes the pipelines to be open. Pretty simple concept, isn't it? I'm going to open the pathways to things I want by talking about them in a way that feels good to me when I speak about them. And I'm going to let those pipelines that are leading to things I don't want just close up from neglect. And it is our promise to you that through those pipelines, through those vibrational pipelines, will come all manner of things to surprise and delight you. First thing that comes is emotion. Emotion is the first manifestation. We want to call emotion a manifestation. What could be realer than that feeling of love, or that feeling of appreciation, or that feeling of passion, or that feeling of worthiness or eagerness or clarity? What could be a more tactile, visceral demonstration or manifestation than the emotion that is rippling through your body? Are you willing to call it a manifestation? We don't care. We're calling it a manifestation. Emotion is the first manifestation that lets you know the direction of your thought. And it won't show up immediately. You have to be sensitive to it. In other words, if you wait until the momentum's really going before you recognize it, now it's harder to stop. Imagine being in San Francisco, your car's perched on the top of the hill. And just to demonstrate to yourself what momentum is, you bump it a little from behind. And then you come to your senses because you realize what's going to happen because you're smart. And you step right out in front of the car and it bumps up against you and nothing happens. You stop the momentum before it gets started. But what if you were waiting at the bottom of the hill for that car? You have a different feeling about momentum at the bottom of the hill, don't you? So we're suggesting that the sooner you catch the momentum of a thought, so that you know if it's a thought that you want to perpetuate or cease, whether you want to turn the other cheek. Jesus had a really good idea. Whether you want to give your attention to it and therefore perpetuate it, or whether you want to withdraw your attention from it and cease your vibrational and subsequently manifestational relationship with it. Clear, isn't it? It's so clear.